every single one of us at a certain point of our life have always yearned for that redemption arc, for the people who we invested our time, our soul, our beings into, and they basically didn't value it the way we expected them to value it, or they didn't value us the way we valued them or took us as highly as we took them, to come back to us and basically tell us, oh my God, I'm so sorry for all that I did to you, and oh my God, I wish I didn't do that and I didn't wrong you. And it's this form of delusion that we just form for ourselves, as a means to give ourselves some type of comfort, for not wanting to actually sit down and think to ourselves that we were so much to these people, or we did so much for them, from sacrifices to pulling ourselves out of our comfort zone in order to give them comfort. And yeah, they didn't ask for these things, but we went out of our way repeatedly, continuously, to try and make these people happy. And we just do not want to fathom the idea that these people that we gave our entire beings to and invested so much time and effort and love and care will just turn around and treat us like we don't even matter to them. Like we're not even a speck in their lives. We're not even worth an atom of their time or their effort or even their sacrifices. And we think to ourselves that maybe one day, maybe someday, they hopefully will look back, hate themselves for what they did, and probably come back to us with this painful realization that they wish they did better for you. They wish they could have done better for you. Or maybe they even came back with this, I want to change and I wish that you give me a chance to, so that we can do something more. We can address this whole me not being present for you or me not sacrificing enough for you, and we can just put all that behind us and we can become what we used to be, or even something more now. And I am someone who is in that position. For the past year or so, I have been cut off by a lot of people that I have invested time into, and people I have loved and cared for and valued extremely well. And within those passing times that they started to, work towards cutting me off, I have been disrespected by these people. I have been basically insulted, to my face. I've been just treated like I didn't matter. My emotions weren't considered when they would make certain actions. And yes, the world doesn't revolve around me, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anyone needs to bend the way they live their life just because I want them to be able to consider how I feel. But it's still a situation where, certain actions are going to definitely stir certain emotions. And within those emotions, it's kind of your responsibility as a friend or someone you just care about deeply to consider the fact that those things can exist. Those emotions can exist. The pain, the hurt, the regret, all of these things can actually still be created by you towards people you claim to care about, but they never did, right? It's like the actions basically stem from a place of, if they are not hurting, then why should it bother them? And I've always made up so many excuses in my head for these people. I know it's their upbringing and it's just how they usually are, or I've always tried to make an excuse. And having to sit down, because that's just basically what I've been doing the past couple of weeks, sit down and having to realize that, oh my God, I'm having to come to this sad and painful realization that I have to move past this people, or these people rather. I have to acknowledge the fact that I was wrong, and I have to acknowledge the fact that those who have actually cut me off and the ones who are, yet to cut me off, because I feel like it's only a matter of time, they will do it soon, and they're not going to turn back and ever regret the fact that they did. Even though I hope that they will, I don't think it's going to happen, because it takes a lot for someone to cut you off. Maybe not a whole lot, but it does take a very huge consideration for people to actually look within themselves and go, I don't want to talk to this person anymore, and they get rid of you from their lives. And it isn't just something that you do off a whim. Whether you do it for a good reason or not, it's still just something that you definitely consider, you think about, you work towards, and then you take the action of removing that person from your life. So there's a lot that comes with it that isn't just something someone would just reverse their thoughts behind and just be like, okay, I'm not doing it anymore, and then come back to you and say, oh yeah, I'm sorry about the fact that I cut you off. And I've had friend groups, several. And unfortunately, I think this will be the last one I'm ever going to have, that I have expected so much more. I have wanted so much more. I have wanted to have peace with them. I wanted to have the ups and downs with them. I wanted to be able to see these people as the people that I let out my pain and suffering, my hurt, my tears, my everything too. I wanted it to feel like the books, the stories, the movies. I wanted it to feel unnatural. I wanted to have friends that we would just plan road trips, and even though I hate going out, we plan road trips and go out of our house, meet at certain times of the month, and we're at picnics and we're going to carnivals, and we're eating and we're stuffing our faces, and we're trying to plan sleepovers, and we're living our lives together, and we're involving ourselves in each other's lives as well. And then we grow past that and we develop ourselves, become more, build more, get married, get kids if that's anyone's cup of tea, and just change, but we change together as one huge, beautiful family. But that's not going to happen. And sadly, it hits you in a way that you sit to yourself and you wonder, how did I even get here? Why am I in this position where I'm the only one probably feeling all this pain? That person is living their best life, especially when you do get to see them living their best life on social media. And it's because of the very title of this whole thing. They have moved on. They have chosen what they want to choose. They've taken the path that they probably always wanted to take. And sadly, that path is without you or I inside of it. They've made a decision to want to forward their lives and live those new parts of their lives without you inside of it. And it sucks. It really does. It's painful, and it's very hurtful to have to sit down and think to yourself that this person chose, because it's always a choice. They chose to not have you continue the journey along with them. And it sucks, and it's painful and sad, but it's life, I guess. And as much as it's pretty cool, it's a very hopeful thought to think that one day they might just come around and tell you, hey, I wish I didn't do that to you, and I'm sorry, and I wish things were better. It's not going to happen. And I've been there. I've waited for that phone call. I've waited for that text message. I've waited for that realization, that they just come around and they tell me, hey, can we talk? We're talking. And it's like they realize they didn't value me enough, and they want to make a change. They want to do better. They want to be the ones who text first. They want to be the ones who are out looking for me. They want to be the people who basically call when I'm gone, when I'm offline and I'm trying to run away from the world. They want to be the ones who actually care, and they don't let any dumb excuse come in the way of that. I've sacrificed so much for these people, and it's beyond disappointing to think that they couldn't sacrifice even the same atom for me as well. But they're living their lives, some of which I can see and some of which I can't see. And they're moving forward. And sometimes I don't even know if I want to wish them well, because they hurt me so bad. But I have to, because otherwise I'll be holding on to a pain that's undeserving of me. I shouldn't have to hate myself for the things I did for them, because that's just things I wanted to do. I think, if you're being honest, reverse time, wipe my memory, and I probably will still do each and every single one of those things again. So it's fair. But I can't live with that pain of having to hold on to something that doesn't exist. And it's not just about the relationship of what was, but the future of them coming back that isn't going to even happen ever. So if I keep doing that to myself, I'm hurting myself way more than they ever did. And you are too. It's over. It's done. And you will give yourself the biggest and do yourself the biggest favor if you can just move on to